Yeah, I was the white whale. I was Moby Dick, dude. I had one friend, I think he still likes me to this day. He said something about liking me in middle school. And I was like, no thanks. Said something again in like early high school. And I was like, no thanks. Asked me to prom. I was like, no thanks. And he was like, no, not like that. I just wanted you to be able to go. And I was like, okay. And then while we were there, at the end of the night, he says again, I'm like, no. I was like, man. And then sometime like late college, you see him there and he's standing at the other end of the room. And I walk in the room. If it were like a drama, it would go grayscale and have like rain on the windows, you know? I hadn't seen him in years, so I figured he was like over it. He apparently wasn't over it. At the end of the night, dude just says something to me, was like, great seeing you again. And I was like, yeah, it was good seeing everybody, you know? Good seeing you, man, pal. We like dabbed each other up. I look at him after we do that and I look at his eyes. He was like getting teary-eyed just a little bit. I was like, and I just turned around and walked out. I was like, ugh. And then dude ends up transferring to my school. I end up being a TA for one of his classes. I walk in, I'm like, I crack the book open, I look up and he's sitting there and I was like, no. We get through the class, nothing crazy. The final exam happens and everyone's walking out of the exam. They're handing the tests to us. He stayed until the end, until like everyone's out of the room. And then he comes up to me at the end and hands his test to me. And he has an additional piece of paper. He used the last like 30 minutes of the test to cover the paper in a letter to me, just pouring out all of his thoughts and feelings. And I was like, ugh. To be fair, it was his last goodbye, supposedly. Yeah, it wasn't. I see him 10 years later. He aged a little rough. I look exactly the same. I see him at some like event or something that like mutual friends are at. We're talking about like how people have aged. And some people are like, yeah, you look rough. This person looks rough. This person looks really good. You know, and everyone's like, yeah. Like, it's all lighthearted. One of the other friends goes, you look exactly the same. And he just goes, yep. He sighs. I was like, why'd you have to say yup? No one said this to you. He just had to say it. What a time.